back with another episode of the Strong New York podcast here from the Arnold 2025. The energy's electric. The people are amazing. Guys, if you've never been to an event like this, I highly recommend it. Definitely check out Strong New York, our event September 27th. But I'm sitting here with the reigning champion, the bikini champion for not only the Arnold, but the Olympia 2024, both, right?
Yes, correct.
And Lauralie, I didn't want to mess up your last name, so please.
It's fine. Hi guys, this is Lauralie Chapados. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for doing this, because she's one of the people, when I told everybody that I was interviewing Lauralie, the bikini champion, every girl in my gym and everybody I'm friends with is like, oh my God, I love her. Why do you think you're so magnetic? Because in this sport, it's like there's a lot of competition between women, right? And you're always sizing each other up. What do you think makes you so attractive to other women?
I think if I think about it and what I get from other people it's often said is that I'm very humble and I'm very grounded.
Well, the fact that you just did this, like we asked a bunch of people to do it, and some people are a little hesitant, but you were like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a great opportunity to be out there, talk about the sport. I think our sport is so great. It did so much great things for me, and I'm so passionate about it. So if I meet like-minded people, I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. So thank you.
When I was here, I saw your line was wrapped around the block, right? Like you have so many people. You've been doing this for a while. What's some of the wildest shit that people have said to you?
It's not necessarily what they say. I mean, they always say such great comments, things that, having people that are in tears, telling me that, I've been part of their training in any type of way. So the impact is huge, but crazy stuff, I sign body parts, that's probably the craziest thing. But yeah. I know it's always been so cool, and I get a lot of boyfriend and husband that just come and want to take pictures for their wives and stuff. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah. So now, when did this really start to blow up for you? You started training at a younger age, right? How old
17.
were you when you started? 17 years old.
Yeah.
And at that time, and how old are you now?
I'm 29 now.
20,
yeah.
Okay, so you've been training for 12 years.
Yeah.
So at the time, the sport wasn't what it is today. What made you get into it, and what made it acceptable in your mind? Because a lot of women, what I get still to this day, even after all we know, people are still like, I don't want to get bulky, I don't want to get jacked. You lift heavy, you're always in the gym, and you look great. You're not intimidating looking. It's not like you have these huge muscles but our goal is to get that, but most women stay away from it. What's your advice to a lot of these women out there who are like, I don't want to lift like her because I don't want to get too bulky?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I wish it worked like that. You know what I mean? Because it would have made my job so much easier. No, to earn muscle, you need a lot of chicken breast, and that, we all know it costs a lot of money. So a lot of food, a lot of good rest, a lot of consistency, a lot of intensity, a lot of intentionality. So if you don't have all 5 of these things, it's very hard to build muscle. It's a very difficult thing. And I feel that now fitness is so broad. You can actually do Pilates, you can do yoga, and still be a part of just taking care of yourself and really working on being your best self.
What's some of your recovery look like?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is going to be your best friend. Are
you doing a lot of the biohacking stuff, cold plunging, sauna, a lot of that stuff, or no?
If I have access to them, I will. I try not to look for them. I've done an entire prep doing sauna every day. I just feel like you become addicted to those things. I think they're great when you're really crashed on. I try to get body work a lot, getting movement, making sure that my joints are healthy, that I'm staying very functional now. Especially the more you have years of training, the more prone to injury you have.
Yeah.
And in our field of work, we're always in the injury away from not being on stage, right? So you really have to be careful with that. So you need to get the precaution for it, and then you do a lot of mobility work, and sleep well, it's key.
So what's some of the myths that most people believe that aren't really true about dieting and exercise, in your opinion?
I would say the one that I hear a lot is just bikini girls don't train. I've heard that all my life, which is, bring it along, we'll see if I don't train, but no, I think, there's myth, I've heard everything, from not having carbs after lunch, or you should just, there's trends like carnivore diet. All of these things are great, but at the end of the day, just understand you have to eat to have fuel and energy in order to go to the gym. I believe not into the 80-20 where nutrition is the most important. I think yes, you can really out train bad diet.
Yeah.
But I think you can actually eat a lot of food and still push into the gym. You know, all you need to have is like a really good workout, and I feel like that gives you the momentum to like really make better choices for yourself.
So, I mean, back to my question before, like when you started, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
what really got you into it? Like, what made it socially acceptable in your mind for you to start training heavy and lifting weights?
It's very interesting because I feel like at 17 years old, all you want to do is like not be different from anyone, and I was just like, I took on, I walked into a gym, I paid a full year membership. I don't really know what got into me. I just was looking for something I could rely on myself only because I was like in a soccer team and like the girls weren't serious anymore because
So
they
you were
started going
you were an
out.
athlete at this time.
I would say like a seasoned athlete, like my parents were just very adamant into like putting us into like soccer, jiu-jitsu, and like skiing in the winter. So
You do jiu-jitsu?
Yes, I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu, but just traditional. I'm not like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but just like self-defense, jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
But just staying in that realm of like being active, my parents were like always very animated on that, so I'm thankful for that. But teams, it just got hard because the girls started like going out, and then they weren't serious about practice. So I was like, I just need an outlet that I can just rely on myself. So I got to the gym, bought a membership for the year, and I never looked back. And then 6 months after that, I went to another gym, and that beautiful women, just full of muscle, comes to me and she's like, you should compete. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but like, yes. And 6 months after, I was on the stage doing my first show, and the rest is history. I mean, I just won all these shows, and I'm here now.
Well, you were a natural. I mean, there's got to be a lot of people. I mean, I was just actually talking to my friend Jacqueline. She's tried so many times to win. She finally won this year. She does more of the fit stuff. But she was saying, she's like, I've been in the sport for a long time, and it was hard for her to break through. But you've had instant success. I mean, you've won multiple years in a row now. What's next for you, and why do you feel that you might have had some success pretty early and pretty easier than most people?
It's very interesting because I started my career, like I agree, I won, and like obviously I think that helped me love it a little bit more, you know, and just keep on going. But I realized with the years of just like trials and error, finishing second at the Olympia, my first Olympia, but then after that fourth, five, and then I would just come back, everything happened in the right time. And it's always great to have things to work on. I always say, like, if I compete and I have a feedback that you're perfect, you have nothing to change, I would freak out. Like, I'm like one that wants to work and just like be in the journey even more than on stage, And I think when you have that balance, you really fall in love with the process and the journey. Like, that's when you become a winner,
Well, I believe that bodybuilding, correct me if I'm wrong, I've never competed in the sport, but it's an all year round thing, right? You always kind of have to track what you're doing. So what do you say to other people who are like, hey, I want to go down that road, but I don't think I'm ready for that type of commitment?
I really think you're able to keep the balance, you know what I mean? But you just have to make that commitment to yourself that when you take off, like right now I'm off season, I'm focusing on my health. So I have that switch that is on, right? I'm focusing on my health only. I distract myself from a physical appearance. Now when I'm prepping, now it's a different switch. I'm on prep switch, which means like this is now physical focus. I'm gonna weigh myself every day. I'm gonna make sure that I'm tracking. But right now, I try to like be really 100% in my off season phase or like my improvement season phase, and that means like taking care of my mental health a lot, taking care of my whole body, spirituality, everything. Because when I'm locked in, I'm a different person,
Well, you're a special breed, clearly. Like you have, it seems like you have this on lockdown in your mind. A lot of people suffer from the mental aspect of it, right? Mental health and mental health is just a big topic right now within the health and wellness space. How do you deal with seeing yourself really shredded and then kind of off season?
Yeah, I think that's a question that I get a lot. I know a lot of people do struggle with that. I think, again, it's a matter of being able to compartmentalize and just be like, you're in certain seasons in your life and your body's not always going to react that way, but still embracing it wholeheartedly. Our body are such special things, you know what I mean? And I've more and more, I'm looking into my blood work, like that has been very important for me into my journey to just know also internally what is going on, and just like always looking to optimize the machine and understanding that my body sometimes needs more rest. Now that I'm not 20 anymore, I'm like 29, I have like different needs, you know, like my body. But I find it very interesting, and you have to not be in a mindset that you're going against your own self. And that is probably the biggest lesson in my career, is you can actually be your worst enemy. So like your best worst enemy.
Yeah.
So
and that's who everyone fights with the most, themselves.
yeah.
What advice do you give to women out there who are like, well, how does this affect my hormones? What is this going to do for me? What is this going to do to me biologically? You know, when you're kind of pulling a lot of those calories out, you're stressing your body to a point to get up on stage. What's your advice to these people?
I think it's an extreme. I think there are ways to avoid a complete disaster. I really do. First of all, if you hire someone, interview them through and through. Don't believe what you see on Instagram. Don't believe the placing. Like, really take care of yourself. Like, try to analyze your needs beforehand. Some people, you know, tells me like, I'm gonna do everything for a pro card. Don't do everything for a pro card, please. Don't do everything. There's a lot of things like after the life, you know what I mean? Like maybe in the moment, like you do want everything. But yeah, no, I would say it's an extreme. You know, you have to also accept that part of the sport, that you're not gonna be optimal. You're actually gonna be tired most of the time.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be a machine all the time, but it's for a greater goal, you know? And I do think that great things happen doing hard stuff, you know?
One of the questions I've been asking a lot of the athletes was, would you rather be 5% body fat but really weak, or 20% body fat but really strong?
20% body fat, really strong.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think functionality more and more, you know, it's very interesting because I feel like I love just being a woman, you know what I mean? And I feel like people allow so much importance to the look now, because I get it, we're in a generation where like a picture, a highlight on Instagram looks so good. But for me to be in this sport for such a long time, I had to have more than just like a cool picture with abs, you know what I mean? So I've just been myself, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think being strong, and we're talking like strong, obviously, in your body, but mentally as well, you know,
course,
it comes hand in hand. So
I think that physical strength leads to that mental and emotional strength as well. Like when you feel like you're capable of something, you could do so much more.
Very true.
So you're a phenom in this sport. Obviously, in the last couple of years, you've crushed. Do you see yourself entering any other sports or going into anything else, trying anything else?
Oh
You're
my
still
God.
so young.
I still feel like I'm not maxed out in the bodybuilding sport, which like this is, I just love it so much, you know. I'm here, I'm not competing, I was able to be a spectator, and I've just enjoyed it so much. So I know I still have a lot to go, but I'm definitely, like whenever I retire, first thing I'm gonna go is probably like hill skiing. I just wanna be dropped on a mountain and just like ski for like hours and hours. Like that's what I want to do.
That's a Canadian in you.
Probably, but I've been wanting to do that. I haven't done skiing in a very long time. Like I said, I'm very careful with like injuries and stuff, but that's one thing. But I can't really think about any other thing. I feel like I'm not very coordinated at all, actually. Like I don't know.
It seems like you are. So coming to an event like this, like, what would you say to somebody who's like, well, why would I go to something like that?
Oh my God, to just connect. Connection is everything. You know, people ask me like, why do you do this sport? Is for this. It's to meet people, like hearing about the impact, hearing about people's story. It's just incredible. Like women, friends. It's okay. It's okay. Meeting people and just seeing like a different generation. You know what I mean? So if you want to connect with like-minded people, get your fitness started. Just like keeping that momentum, you know, and just. It's so rare that we have those events, and everything is changing all the time. Every single year it's different people, it's different companies, it's new technologies, and you want to be like on top of your game. You want to be in the
course.
first
You're in this
place.
space, you need to know what the hell's going on.
Yes.
And even if you're not in this space, it's just good to know like what is cutting edge when it comes to your health and wellness.
Yeah, exactly. And we have so many great companies, you know.
So one of the last questions, being in, you know, premier shape, you're at the top of your game.
Yeah.
What do you look for in a gym? Like when you're traveling, you're out, where are you, like what are the things that you look for in a gym when you're going to another gym, or when you go join a gym?
Yeah, so back home I train in a gym that's semi-private. My boyfriend owns a gym, so like I see the same people every single time, which I love. We're in Columbus right now. There's great gyms all around. I would say a place that's not too busy. That's what I love. I love me some corner gym. You know, the open gym that is just like open air, like gets me a little bit stressed out. I love a little bit of like a privacy. I love to see a gym that's like hand-picked pieces. That's what we're known for at Iron University back in Miami, and like
What do you guys have? What are some-
everything, Cybex, Flex, like the Nautilus pull down. Like we just have those great machines. Banana, we have new tech that just came in a little bit. Like it's just pieces that we have Atlantis a lot. Obviously, Canadian Atlantis, we have to shout them out. Such great machines. So I look for just great machines. But honestly, at the end of the day, like if you have a place that makes you enjoy training, it really doesn't matter. You can get it along with away with a lot of things. I just train in we talk about Techno Gym. Like I just train with Techno Gym too. I mean, the pieces just keeps getting better and better and better. So yeah.
Well, guys, you heard it here first. Lauralie, where could everybody find you and kind of learn a little bit more about you?
Oh my God, well, thank you so much. So I have, I would say Instagram is probably my main. It's at Lauralie Chap, C-H-A-P, for Chapados, not Chapman, but yeah. Very nice seeing you guys. And
Awesome.
then YouTube and all the rest.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share with a friend. Lauralie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Keep killing it, and good luck to you this year at the Olympia, right? Because you're getting ready?
Yes, I am. I am.
Are you doing the New York Pro again this year or no?
So I'll be there. I'll be
Okay.
attending. I'll be, in the audience. I mean, New York Pro, Big Steve, it's a show that I love to participate into. But no, the Olympia is next.
Good. Guys, thank you so much. Again, like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Strong New York podcast.
Bye, guys.